I think that anymore there's any of those.
Call the May board meeting to order, please. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Heidi, please note that all board members are in attendance.
Rochelle's absent.
Except. Fail.
Except.
Can't even make it one line.
It'll get better.
One of these times.
Yeah.
Just need a few more years on the board. Okay, so we'll start over. All board members are present with the exception of Rochelle. We will now, please note, board members, if you have any conflicts of interest on any agenda or non-agenda items.
Would you like a motion? Point of order.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to for
Consent agenda.
the consent agenda?
Yeah. I move we approve the consent agenda.
I will second.
We have our motion and our second. And we will move to the financial report, please.
Perfect, thanks, Stuart. The general fund operation reported revenue at $1.6 million for the month of April and was exceeded by expenditures reported at $2.2 million. The financials in May in all taxing funds of general capital outlay and special education will reflect an increase to taxes as property taxes payable in 2024 for the first half are noted to be received. The cash balance in the general fund came in at $5.5 million on April 30th. Capital outlay revenue consisted of the typical tax proceeds in the amount of $299,000. Expenditures were moderate, but will pick up in the coming months as activity on phase 2 of the stadium project has begun. In special education, the revenue consisted of a small amount of taxes and typical state aid. Federal revenue will be received in the coming months in support of IDEA special education costs. The cash balance of $1 million in this fund is above that of the previous year due to the timing of federal allocations. Revenue and expenditures in the K-12 food service fund were moderate for the month, with expenditures in the amount of $191,000 exceeding the revenue. The ending cash balance of $374,226 in this fund is below that of the previous years due to the spend down plan in the previous years to align with the federal food service program. Lake Area Tech reported revenue totaling $4.2 million for the month, which included a $3.5 million contribution from LATC Foundation for construction progress of the archway. Expenditures came in at $3.4 million and included $1.1 million towards construction. The ending cash balance came in at $10.2 million and is above that of the previous year. Enterprise operations at LATC included activity within the food service, educare, and bookstore funds, with all operations maintaining a comfortable fund balance operation. The premium and administrative costs totaling $655,000 was just above the claims for the month in the Employee Benefit Trust, resulting in a cash balance of $3.8 million to end the month. This fund will see an increase to premiums in FY25 to assist with the claim % increase. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions for Heidi? Okay, I'll transition into the student staff recognition.
Yeah, we have one recognition this month. We have a staff member who was named the Region 3 Activity Director of the Year. So if Mr. Craig Boyens could come on up, be recognized.
Gotta stand right here, Susan.
Is your mom here to take a picture?
Smile for me, Dan.
Congratulations, Mr. Boyens.
Congratulations.
And then I would like to make sure that the public is aware that on Wednesday, May 15th, from 3:45 to 5 o'clock here at the WHS Commons, we will be recognizing our retirees. The public is invited to stop in and offer their congratulations. Those retiring this year from the Watertown School District include Janet Bragi, 15 and a half years. She's a speech therapist. Deb Cox, food service, 25 and a half years. Renee Cummings from Lincoln Elementary. Kathy DeYoung from Lincoln Elementary. That was 3rd and 1st grade. Mr. Greg Spiegler, principal at Lincoln, 36 years. Mr. DeSpiegler's in this room. Let's give him a round of applause. Lori Fox, interventionist at Roosevelt, 25 years. Dee Dee Gilbertson, interventionist at Lincoln and Jefferson, 31 years. Marlene Gully, paraprofessional at the middle school, 23 years. Patty Metters, paraprofessional at Jefferson, 24 years. Kay Olson, social studies at the middle school, 27 years. Lori Rook, she 5th or 6th grade? I gotta think, Mr. Crew. 5th grade at intermediate school, 40 years. Tammy Scone, interventionist at the intermediate school, 33 years. Cece Susi, she is the gate teacher for the district, 18 years. Lisa Ulrich, our registrar at the high school, 19 years. And then Rick Briggs has been the physical therapist for the Watertown School District for 44 years. He is being recognized by us. And then Linda Jensen, who actually opened Sunrise Colony for us and has been with us for 3 years. So by my count, that's 434 years of service to be recognized on Wednesday. So join us, please. That's what I have, sir.
All right, thank you. We've got our motion and second is, we'll go to the vote. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. All right, we'll seek any public input on agenda or non-agenda items for Lake Erie Technical College. Seeing none, we'll move then to item 3.2. And welcome President Sanders.
Good evening, everybody. I've got a lot of fun information to share with you tonight. Really good news on both the graduate outcomes front from our 2023 graduates and then a recap of graduation from Lake Area Tech, which happened on Friday afternoon. Appreciate John and Stuart for both being there to help us celebrate a great day. So Derek, you can flip into even the next slide, and behind you you'll have some stats that you can take a look at. This is the time of year when we collect or receive all of the final data on how our graduates did. You're all familiar that some of the most important data that we receive in the year is not just how many graduates we have, but how they've done as they've transitioned into their careers. And for many years running now, 99%, more than 99% of our graduates from last year are employed, they're continuing their education, or they're serving in the military. So to us, that's a sign that our graduates are readily finding jobs and have the opportunity to go on to continue their education and advance their careers if they so choose. So a couple of stats just to shape out that whole conversation. 82% of our students that graduated last year are here in South Dakota. Nearly all of those are employed in their field here in South Dakota. 81% of last year's graduates employed in their field here in the state. One of the really interesting pieces of information that we got back was how well students are doing in terms of earnings. The average graduate in 2023 grew their salary over the 2022 graduates by $2.32 per hour. So that's about $5,000 per year. Average wage for our graduates last year was $54,725 for the year, 6 months following graduation. 4 of the programs, that includes the top 10% of our graduate earners last year, averaged more than $70,400 in their first job coming out of college. That represents students who are in the registered nursing program, the fixed wing pilot program, aviation maintenance, and heavy equipment operators. So tremendous opportunity across a variety of fields for our graduates. And the notes that you see at the bottom of the screen there are just some points of interest. Often when you hear about graduate placement, people question, well, what kind of response rate did you have? Our graduates last year, 98.7% of them responded to this survey and provided information to help us shape out the picture of how well they have done following graduation. 23 of the 30 programs represented in this survey had 100% placement. And a growing number within those responses, 20.2% are continuing their education or serving in the military. That's up a little bit from the past several years. So very good news in terms of our 2023 graduates. I'll pause there before I get into the details of graduation. What questions do you have around placement? All right, well, let's dig into graduation that happened last Friday. It was our 57th commencement as a college, and we celebrated 806 individual graduates. Some interesting points out of our graduating class: 17 of those graduates were veterans. 76% of them were military connected in some way, so spouses or children of those serving in the military. 19%, almost 1 out of 5 of our graduates, were first-generation students entering college. And so we take great pride in helping students change the trajectories of their life and enter new phases of opportunity. And when you think about 20% of our graduates being the first in their family to earn a college credential, that's pretty phenomenal. We also had an opportunity to recognize some really special individuals. On the left side of the screen, you see 3 of our 5 retiring faculty members: Chris Lindahl, Marie Pollack, and Chris Barrett. And I'll share information on when we can celebrate them this week as well. And then the pictures on the right-hand side of the screen are recognition for legislative leadership. Students in our precision machining program made custom aluminum and brass gavels and presented those to Speaker of the House Hugh Bartels in the center of the screen there. And we also have one for President Pro Tem Lee Schoenbeck, and appreciate of all the statewide legislators, having the 2 leaders for the chambers here in District 5 is pretty special. And they both have had tremendous impact on Lake Area Tech. Affordability for our students, equipment in our programs, and many other ways that they have advocated for our work. And then in the lower right-hand corner, a student of Representative Will Mortensen with one of our welding students and welding instructors. Will was our commencement speaker, and long before he served in the legislature, he was a huge advocate for technical education and worked with Lake Area. He was general counsel for the Board of Technical Education, was a lobbyist for about 3 years for the board and all of the technical colleges. He too has worked a lot on college affordability and has been one of the ringleaders around freezing tuition and fees. And so we were able to celebrate a lot of folks who helped our 806 graduates have the celebration that they did, and so appreciate them very much. So let's talk about those 806. They came from the United States, the Netherlands, and the Ukraine, and let's break it down a little bit further in terms of those who are in the U.S. 15 states were represented, obviously the largest share coming from South Dakota, a good portion from Minnesota, and then a random variety of other states around us. And as you get into South Dakota, more than 170 communities, 61 of our 66 counties were represented in the graduating class. And so really proud to share that we're obviously serving the Watertown community and region, but also providing service to the entire state. Some highlights of our student body this last year. Every year we survey students on whether they're employed while they're in school and how many hours per week they're working. This last year, 3/4 of our students, 75% were employed while they were at Lake Area Tech. 40% of those were working more than 20 hours per week. And even with that much work in their lives, plus schoolwork, together they contributed almost 104,000 hours of service, some done through their programs directly, like you see Med-Fire rescue students and dental assisting students providing their field-related service in the community, and then students have cleaned up ditches and parks and our campus and provided many other services through their program efforts. Our students this year also were awarded many scholarships. I've shared with you before that 20% of our students are on full ride scholarships. In total, almost 1,000 individual scholarships were awarded, and they totaled $4.5 million. 240 of those were Build Dakota Scholars, 125 workforce scholarships, and 635 other foundation scholarships or outside scholarship awards. So very proud to see all of those numbers growing. Both the number of awards and the total dollars awarded to students has grown tremendously over the last several years. And we always like to celebrate, and really like to celebrate good people. And so we get to do that this week as 5 of our faculty members complete their careers. The open house and the public are welcome to come and join us for this. Wednesday the 15th, just before the school district's retirement celebrations, join us on campus from 3 to 4:30 p.m. Let's celebrate Chris Barrett in the physical therapy assistant program, Randy Carl in building trades, Chris Lindahl, who's in medical assisting, Gary Mutter from precision machining, and Marie Pollock from the business program. Together they have offered 101 years of service to the college, and you can see on the screen there's locations around campus where those will be held, and if somebody would like to join us and isn't finding the location they're looking for, just stop by the front office and we'll make sure that you get to the right place. So again, that's Wednesday from 3 to 4:30. And then as we look ahead to next year, summertime's a good time for us to do some strategic thinking and planning for the year ahead. We'll be wrapping up the Dana J. Dykehouse Business Center, also known as the Archway, and moving into that facility. Our plan is to be there for classes and operations next fall. We also are under construction in our dental program, and that is, knock on wood, ahead of schedule, also planned to be open this fall. And as we've discussed at prior board meetings, we're looking at remodeling in the surgical technology program. That's included in our budget, and the architecture and engineering is almost complete for that project. So those are facilities related items coming up in the next year. Next Thursday, the Board of Technical Education meets, and we'll be proposing in the final stages some new programs to offer out of Lake Erie Tech. So I look forward to bringing those back and sharing with the public. We're working on more graduates. We've been discussing attainment goals for the college and increasing the production of graduates. That's something that we're really focused in on and working actively on in this next year. And then Lake Erie Tech turns 60 years old next year, and so we'll have a big birthday or anniversary celebration at some point, so stay tuned for details on that, but a few of the highlights that are coming up in this next academic year. And I'll stand by for any questions you have.
Do you ever do a comparison with other tech schools as to their placement rate?
Overall in the system has been very high. I have not yet seen the final rates for other schools. That'll come out at the Board of Tech Ed meeting in the next week, so I can follow up with that. But as a system, we've been in the 96 and above range across.
It's high. Thank you.
Lots of positive statistics. I was trying to do some rough math because I think one of the stats was 80% of the graduates remain in South Dakota, and I think 615 started in South Dakota or were from South Dakota.
Graduates, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, graduates were from South Dakota. It would just be interesting to figure out like what that capture rate is if you're able to retain more people after like the base level of 615.
Yeah.
And I think based on the rough math, I mean, it did go up a little bit, that we retained a few more people that came to South Dakota than stayed.
Very well done. Yes, keen insight. We have typically had about 80% of our student body come from South Dakota, 20% from out of state. But in the placement report, we've seen that of our graduates, about 85% are staying here in South Dakota. And so that capture, we are keeping more students from out of state in the state following their time here in Watertown.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Anybody else?
Just, I want to follow up on the building. We've been behind schedule. How are we progressing, and will we be ready for the fall?
Correct.
I guess is the big question.
It is the big question. The Archway complex is continuing completion in different parts of the building. So the initial hope was that we would get the building all at one time and move in comprehensively. The plan has adjusted as we've waited for completion of different elements of the building. There's some glass installation that's a little bit behind, which then triggers some mudding and drywall work, and all of that will come together. But instead of receiving the building as one project and moving in completely, we'll receive different portions of the building and move in a staggered approach instead. The plan still is very much to be fully operational in that facility next fall.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, well, we'll move along to personnel and start with the 4.1.1, the resignations, please.
Very good. I am working off of the updated blue sheet that you have in front of you. And on that, underneath resignations, we have 5 resignations for your consideration and seek your approval as they're presented.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the resignations.
Second.
Motion by Laura and second by Iverson. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
This one has all the pages. This one doesn't.
All those in favor of the resignations?
Oh, aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
No problem. Opposed? Resignations have been approved. Item 4.1.2, contract recommendations and addendums.
Before you, you'll see a variety of contract offerings for full-time faculty and existing staff, including adjunct instruction and some temporary part-time workers. We recommend approval as presented.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the contract recommendations and addendums.
Motion by Laura,
Second.
second by Moulton. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion's been approved. We'll move to item 4.2.1 with considering the equipment lease agreements.
Thank you. Before you is a variety of equipment lease agreements for our heavy equipment operator and diesel programs. In total, it's 5 pieces of equipment between the 2 programs. TransSource and Kibble equipment are the partners that are offering these low-cost and no-cost leases to us. The TransSource agreement, the 3 pieces of equipment, we would have those pieces of equipment for 2 months at a rate of $2,000 per month, and the diesel tractors we would have for 8 months at 0 cost per month. The value of all 5 pieces of equipment total is $963,000, and so really appreciate both TransSource and Kibble equipment for offering this partnership to allow us to have very current equipment readily accessible for our students.
Is there a motion to approve?
I move approval of the lease agreements with TransSource and Kibble as presented.
Motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Iverson. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, we'll move to item 5.1. If there's anyone here from the public to speak on agenda or non-agenda items. No. Okay, we'll move to item 5.3. I've got jumbled there. 5.2 Northeast Tech report.
Yes, just a reminder of the Northeast Tech Board meeting on Wednesday night, 5:45. We had a successful project night on May 1st, well attended, and I forget who, they were not present, whoever won the house, so, or the playhouse, so, but it did go.
Okay. We'll move to item 5.3 with the high school graduation report. Welcome.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for having me this evening. We have graduation coming up, and it is our 137th commencement, which is incredible when you think about the history of that. It's a lot of years. So graduation will be held on Sunday, May 26th at 2 p.m. in our Watertown Civic Arena. We have 278 students graduating this year. Our program will consist of, we'll have 2 sets of senior speakers, we'll have music performed by the symphonic band and Meister singers, and of course any of you are welcome to our graduation. Just let us know that you'll be there. If you are not able to be at graduation, it will be live streamed through our Aero TV, which you can find on the YouTube channel. I did want to just mention last week we had a Native American honoring ceremony for our Native American graduates, so I brought you guys a copy of this for you to look at. And it was in conjunction with Lake Area Tech, so I thank them for partnering with us to come up with a program to honor our Native Americans. We had 11 Native American graduates that went through that ceremony last week, and it was really special to see. Luke Wilson was our person that welcomed and kind of got the program going, and then Cam Corey, the vice president at LATC, provided a message, and Scott DeBoer provided a message, assistant principal at the high school. And then they did a smudging ceremony, and they were presented with plumes and medicine wheels. And then after that, we had a big family meal, so we got to kind of hang out with families and have a meal. It was really a special ceremony for everybody involved. So thank you to Lake Area for partnering with us on that special ceremony.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yes, it was good. But yeah, they do little bios and everything, and it's fun to read what their goals are. So I will leave this with you. Have to share.
I have a question.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
So in your graduation numbers, you factor in early grads as well?
Yes, and I would say most of the early grads are participating in graduation.
Any other questions?
I had another one, but it slipped my mind later.
It happens to all of us. Catch me after. I'll answer the question.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens.
All right, we'll move to item 5.4, the presentation of the preliminary budget.
Perfect, good evening. The 24-25 preliminary budget was discussed in detail during the budget work session that was held on April 22nd, in which board members and administration had the chance to thoroughly review and discuss in level of detail. Board members have been provided a hard copy of the budget, and a PDF version can be found on the district's website. The presented preliminary budget to operate the Watertown School District for the 24-25 school year is in the amount of $128,309,762, a decrease of 6.16% from the previous year. The largest shifts in the budget percents come from capital outlay, in which increased by 30% due to the athletic complex construction, and LATC decreasing by 28.61% due to the construction in progress of the archway and diesel facilities terming in FY24. K-12's budget operation makes up 55% of the overall budget, with Lake Area Tech at 45%. The general fund budget reflects a 2.3% increase, with a total proposed budget of $32.4 million. Revenue supports are made up of 42% local, 45% state, followed by 9% in use of cash on hand, capital outlay transfer, and 4% in federal revenue. The reported budget anticipates an enrollment of 3,584. In the general operation, salaries and benefits make up 84% of the budget, followed by purchase services and supplies. The special education fund budget reflects a 6.69% increase, with a total proposed budget of $8.9 million. The property tax levy is noted at 1.488, and a state aid reflected increase of 4% is noted in this budget. The expenditures are made up of 92% towards salary and benefits, followed by purchase services relating to out-of-district placements and other contracted services. The capital outlay fund is budgeted at $18.1 million, which is an increase of 30.9% from the previous year, a majority relating to the construction in progress of Phase 2 of the athletic complex, which is budgeted at $11.2 million in FY25. The budget projects an ending fund balance of $1.2 million, or 16.89% of fund expenditures. The revenue includes accommodations from an estimated $3.2 million in capital outlay certificates in support of the athletic complex. K-12 enterprise funds include nutrition services, concessions, driver's ed, and preschool services totaling $2.7 million in budgeted funds for FY25. Nutrition services noted as the largest enterprise operation at $2.3 million. Lake Area Technical College making up 45% of the district's budget, with the main operating fund at $38 million, followed by student financial aid at $13 million, and 3 enterprise fund operations, with bookstore noted at $3.4 million for the year, nutrition services at $689,000, and Educare at just over $430,000. LATC's budget is made up of 52% in salaries and benefits, followed by purchase services at 18% and construction at 10% of the overall budget. Please note that the budget hearing is scheduled for July 11th at 5 p.m. At this time, the FY25 budget will be reviewed and adopted for the 24-25 school year. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Inflation is with all of us, and I'm sure it's not going to get any better. How impactful has that been on the budget?
It has been impactful. One area that has been significantly impacted is health insurance. As you know, that's obviously impacted by inflation, which in turn impacts all of our budgets as we look at salary and benefits for all of our employees. Paper, just simple items that we purchase in bulk, we can see significant increases with all of those items as well. So yes, there has been an impact to that inflationary cost in the overall budget.
Food, I would imagine, too.
Yep, food, that with our federal food service program, even our rates are set federally. I mean, we work with, it's called like a PLE tool in which we know what the cost is. And then that kind of sets the tone of what our rates are, and that has seen an impact as well.
You mentioned paper, but I would imagine general supplies.
Yep, general supplies, paper, even software. I think some of our buildings can even note that, like when they look at their individual building budgets, you can't do as much as what you could with your funds previously. So there has been an impact to that.
Thank you.
Just for the reminder for the board too, I don't want to stop questions, but that July 11th would be a Thursday.
Yep.
Because of where the 4th of July holiday falls, we're pushing that first meeting of the new fiscal year to a Thursday, July 11th. So the budget hearing at 5, followed by the regular meeting at 5:30.
So the date in here is incorrect then?
Yes, we need to update that.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. All right, we'll move to the strategic plan update.
Thank you. Board members should have received a paper copy of the strategic plan, and this is a first reading discussion piece of it, with hopeful, feedback tonight, and then we'll bring it for final approval at the June board meeting. But we had 5 indicator areas. So what we've been doing is we had a consultant working with us on coming up with the indicator areas and goals, and then had 5 different indicators, and then had goals champions working with smaller groups. And so we've had staff members, we've had administrators, we've had community parent focus groups, and then the board had input into this process going in. And so the 5 indicators are, and a note from your paper. Thanks, Jean, for pointing out. In our discussion, we actually refer to it as school community and safety versus school culture. So the one indicator would be school community and safety. That's to develop and maintain a sense of belonging for all students and staff in safe and supportive environments. And then facility planning and fiscal health. Enhance operational efficiency to accommodate current and future needs. Maximize the use of resources to support students and staff. A third is marketing, communication, and outreach. To develop and maintain a positive image and meaningful relationships with internal and external stakeholders through effective communications. Then we have student support and success. Support the development and learning of all students through a variety of programming and diverse course and co-curricular offerings. And staff support and success. Hire and retain highly qualified staff. Provide ongoing opportunities for training and professional development. So we'll just look at those 5 individually. The first one being school community and safety. You can see the 3 strategies there. Regularly review safety plan, document and procedures. Provide multiple tiered systems of support to meet the academic and emotional needs of all students. And then recognize staff in all positions for their value and contributions to our district. I'm not going to go into each of the different action steps, but as you look at it, are there questions or thoughts on that particular goal area? Okay. Next one is the fiscal health and facility falls under this. Review and update staffing to meet student needs and financial realities. Obviously, we've spent the last couple years working through the elementary school process, but that will continue. Provide a competitive salary and wage to attract and retain staff. Always doing that, but obviously in the new reality we face with limited numbers of applicants and hot competition, both in education and outside education, we need to keep that in mind. Improve and standardize fiscal operations and services throughout the school district. ensure the availability of technology for students and staff, and then ensure the efficiency of building usage. So that's our strategies under there. If you have thoughts or questions on the action steps, would okay. Third area is marketing, communication, and outreach. So first strategy, improve written documents such as newsletters, memos, and articles through the proper use and consistent use of visuals, branded templates, and data visualization in plain language. So looking at all the documents we send out, increase employee engagement and awareness of district and building level happenings through the creation and publishing of formal content. Third, foster meaningful partnerships with parents, businesses, and community members. And then finally, increase parent engagement and awareness of district and building level happenings through the creation and publishing of content. And so we've got all those different action steps under there. Just a reminder for board, we did have a contract this year with Odney to, in a limited fashion, look at our communication. That has gone fairly well, but obviously it was not a large contract, so not a significant amount of time. So looking at how we move forward with our communications from that point on with that contract will be a piece of that, and what we can do with that component. We also have, sorry, there's a second page, my bad. Generate community awareness and interest in Watertown School District student, staff, and alumni successes, programming activities and capabilities by publishing consistent content, and then vet and test various themes of informational articles to raise awareness and foster goodwill. So, just continuing to hone our messaging and the communications that go out. So there's some consistency, some little bit of predictability with the timing and those sort of things, and then highlighting all the good work that's going on.
One of the good ideas that came out of that section was to highlight successful graduates and what they're doing nationally, internationally, locally. There's some really interesting stories.
Yeah, I think we've got to figure out who's the personnel that puts
Yeah.
that together.
Yeah.
So that's the piece that that did come out of different positions, possibly like a public information officer or a communication director, some sort of position tied to solely pushing out that content. Obviously, the contract we had this year with Odney, Jennifer Bender helped us, but it was more in the back end stuff because we just didn't contract for enough time to maybe do more of it with her personally doing the work. Nobody really likes to read things that sound like it comes directly from a superintendent. I found that out. So
I would
it's
bet
a little too stiff.
Aero Education would probably have a good insight into some of those people.
Finding the highlight ones.
Yeah.
Yes. Our fourth goal area, student support and success. Utilize data to improve student achievement. Study, research, and develop subject-specific curriculum. Implement curriculum with fidelity. All students will demonstrate growth and high standards of excellence in English, language arts, and math. Utilize technology effectively in all grades and content areas. Increase learner engagement to ensure all students meet grade level expectations. Prepare all students for post-secondary opportunities, and then strengthen identification of student needs at all levels to target interventions and mine's cut off.
Yeah, I've got 2 pages.
You want to scroll there and what that one is. It's a big and. And support.
Support.
Got it. Probably could have gotten to that if I just kept guessing words. But that's the student part of support and success.
So we have a new math curriculum coming up. It'd be nice if we had a preview for the board of what company was selected, why, what are the advantages, what's it going to offer. Be nice to have a heads up before fall.
Yeah, we can look at that as one of our summer presentations, June, July. I
Yeah.
think the training is June.
7/12 is in June, and August 1st will be elementary.
I have the name of the company, I'll just, some looking to. Along with math, I understand the high school's trying to reschedule, coordinate between freshman algebra and a social studies class, which I would guess would be world geography, so that algebra's taken the entire year.
Yep, that's what we're gonna try.
Yeah, so what she's alluding to is like the idea of a skinny math for all freshman courses, and then opposite that with the new implementation of the social studies standards, so that, because if you're going to have one skinny of a core content, you've got to have the corresponding skinny, so it's something that all students in that grade would take. So that's something we're looking at for next year as well.
And skinnies are about 45 minutes long. Actually, skinnies they move faster through material because they're totally focused, and that's what's happened in the past. Other skinnies that we've provided have worked great, actually. Handbooks, K-12. I think I saw that on the list, that there's something about revising, looking at, updating. I don't know if it's on this list or somewhere else.
Yeah, I think part of that was just ensuring that handbooks are consistent between buildings, especially when we've got 3 different elementary schools, and having consistency through those handbooks.
Yeah. Could we include the high school handbook in that as well too? I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, all handbooks get looked at every year with changes, so.
And I would ask the board to consider looking at grading, particularly for grades 1 through 4, what the grade policy is currently. Is it an incentive grading policy? Does it promote working harder? Something to think about. Because the people in my group had some really good ideas on that.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then our final goal area, staff support and success. First strategy, hire highly qualified staff. That's our goal every year. Second, increase staff retention, both certified and classified. Address the need for substitute teachers and paraprofessionals. Offer robust, well-rounded professional development for staff. Provide support for staff in areas of instruction, academics, and behavior. Strengthen services for English learners, all students in K-12, and then use technology to help maximize student performance in all academic areas. I will note, like, one thing in this area that we've done a creative job of, in particular, it started last summer and we're doing it this summer whole, is the use of online courses and some of the different ways that staff have to get professional development throughout the summer versus maybe just our week-long teacher academies. And this year it's more out of, last year there still was a week of summer academy. This year it's more because of the move of all the movement of elementary teachers around. It's been more focused on different online trainings and promotion of some other opportunities. So a credit to our staff, Mrs. Walker, and then the instructional coaches and all the people who are delivering that content, because that is part of like their summer responsibilities that they're doing, and then monitoring the staff, putting it together, and still trying to get people learning, even though they're also moving and doing some of the other stuff. So that's our 5 areas. And so we will take, we've got to put together, a piece that will be done before June is the completion of that dashboard with the accomplishments, some of those in progress and planned actions, and then future and emergent needs to go with any of the updates to the larger plan.
I have one other note. A question came up this week, but it wouldn't hurt, I don't know when the last time we actually did compare what other high schools offer for credit compared to what we offer. When was the last time we updated? I know for AP it was a number of years ago that we updated additional credit there. But are we in line with other high schools?
Yeah, we can take a look at some of that. I think like for example, the ESD principals meet a couple times a year, and I'm sure that's something that gets thrown out every once in a while in terms
Yeah,
of.
that's something that we talk about, and we often look at the registration books when we're looking at courses.
Yeah.
We review to see what other schools are offering that maybe are a little more innovative than maybe what we're doing, so.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. A big thank you. We had a number of community members and parents participate. We had a number of staff members. Our entire administrative team and school board participated. So thank you very much for the shared work on this document. Appreciate it. Good work.
Is there a motion to approve the bills?
I move we approve the bills.
Motion by Moulton.
Second.
Second by Iverson. Questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. We'll move into personnel and
Yeah, one retirement and then several resignations listed for you there. Two more that are new on your green sheet. Not listed are Katie McLaughlin, 2nd grade Jefferson, and Eden Gill, 3rd grade Lincoln. And would recommend your approval of those.
okay.
Make a motion to approve the retirements and resignations, or do we do them separate? Separate.
We've got a motion on the retirements. Is
I'll
there a
second.
second? Second by Iverson. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The retirements have been approved. We'll move to the resignations. Is there a motion to approve the resignations as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the resignations.
We've got a motion by Lore,
Second.
second by Moulton. Any questions, comments?
Note any
Go ahead.
extracurricular would be pending suitable replacement. Have the one.
As noted. We've got-
Dr. Danielson or Mr. Barrios, you want to maybe highlight some of the positions that are still open, pending?
Spanish, business, the high school, for a lot of sped. We're doing a big interview, gala this week. So a lot of interviews happening this week to try and get some positions filled up. And then we've got obviously today a couple more that were added that we'll have to interview and hire for as well.
Thank you.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved, and we'll move to the contract recommendations and addendums. Any further comments there, Dr.?
No,
Barrios, or-
there's a long list there. Would just note, as far as, we did get hired a physical therapist and physical therapy assistant. As was noted earlier, Rick Riggs was with the school district for a long time, contracted services, and now we get hired those staff for replacement.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, there's just a lot of summer additions, summer hours in there for your leisurely perusing.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the contract recommendations and addendums.
Motion by Lore, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Iverson. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. We'll move into property. Item 623.1 in consideration of the locker room furniture bid.
Yeah, the district requests the authority to purchase locker room furniture and equipment for Phase 2 of the athletic complex through Medco Supply Company, or locally known as Pivotal Health Solutions, which is an approved vendor under Buy Board, which is a national cooperative purchasing organization. The district is a member of the cooperative and is eligible to purchase pre-bid equipment at the negotiated price in accordance with the bid number. And we would just like to note, in terms of this bid and the furniture, the Ingalls Family Foundation has noted that they will contribute $125,000 towards our furniture needs. and our locker rooms within the athletic complex. So a big thank you to them.
A big thank you, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's
Big, very big.
Is there a motion to approve?
I move we approve the locker room furniture bids as presented.
Motion by Moulton.
Second.
Second by Iverson.
And, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because of that grant, we're able to purchase even better equipment.
Yes, that is true. Yep, they have helped us alongside with our architect to look at that equipment needs. So it will be some enhanced, different equipment noted within the locker room, so we're thankful for that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion's been approved. Moving to the product bids, the district product bids, and we'll start with 6.4.1 with the dairy products.
Yeah, for dairy products, it is recommended to approve the bid received from Prairie Farms for the supplying of the dairy products for the 24-25 school year.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Iverson.
Second.
Second by Moulton. Any questions or comments there? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion's been approved. We'll move to the bakery products.
Yes, it is recommended to approve the bid received from Bimbo Bakeries USA for the supplying of bakery products for the 24-25 school year.
Is there a motion to approve?
I move the approval of the bakery bid as presented.
Motion by Moulton.
Second.
Second by Iverson. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. We'll move to the food distribution products.
Yes, it is recommended to approve the bid received from Performance Foods for the supplying of food distribution for the 24-25 school year, with the ability to roll that into 4 years. This recommendation comes from evaluation based on a rating system on services and online capabilities, product nutritional information and marketing, and fixed fee amounts.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Iverson.
Second.
Second by Moulton. Any questions, comments?
Is this a new company?
No, we've currently been with them. They've also been known as Reinhardt. So
That's what I thought.
Yeah, if you've seen trucks before, it's
Sure.
Reinhardt.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion's been approved. Item 6.4.4, paper products.
it is recommended to approve the bid received from Contract Paper Group for the supplying of paper products for the 24-25 school year.
Is there a motion to approve?
I move we approve paper products bid as presented.
Motion by Moulton.
Second.
Second by Iverson. Any questions or comments there? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. Moving to the second reading of some policies, 6.5.1.
Yes, there were no changes from last month on these in terms of these were all fell into more of the nursing area. The JHCDD is administration of opioid antagonists or Narcan. So would recommend approval of that policy.
Do we need to go separately through each of these?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do, is there a motion to approve 6.5.1?
I move we approve JHCDD as presented.
We've got a motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Iverson. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. We'll move to 6.5.2.
Yes. Again, no changes from last month on JLCB, immunization of students.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve JLCB.
Motion by Lohr.
Second.
Second by Iverson. Questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. Item 6.5.3.
Yes, then this is JLCD, administering medication to students. No changes from last month.
Is there a motion to approve?
I move we approve JLCD administering medicines as presented.
Motion by Moulton.
Second.
Second by Iverson. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. Last but not least, item 6.5.4.
Yes, JLCF, program and assignment of school nurses. Also no changes from last month.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Iverson.
Second.
Second by Lohr. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. Move to the item 6.6.1.
Yes, we have a couple of positions in the Activity Association. One is for West River at-large superintendent, recommending Mark Noggle from Custer School District.
Is there a motion to approve the vote for Mark Noggle?
I'll make a motion to approve the West River at-large SDH SAA ballot.
Motion by
For
Laura.
Mark.
Second.
Second by Iverson. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. Item 6.6.2.
Next is the Native American at-large bid. That is a statewide for an activities director at a Native American school. Recommend Chuck Wilson, Todd County High School.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I move we approve the Native American at large as presented.
Motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Iverson. Any questions or comments there? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. Move to item 6.7.
Yes, this is an amendment for the South Dakota High School Activities Association. This amendment deals with name, image, and likeness, or it comes under the amateur standing portion. I've had some questions, not necessarily locally, but from around other superintendents, activities directors. I want to reassure the board and public here that this is so, and it gets confused because of the college situation right now with name, image, and likeness. But what this does is spells out more carefully what can be done or what cannot be done by a student so that they can retain their amateur status. The executive director at this point, with questions like this would arise, does not have much in the handbook to go on in towards of making a determination. And this is essentially the process that he would go through at this point to try and determine if there was a violation or not a violation. So this spells it out in a much clearer manner in terms of what is allowed. And so would recommend a yes vote for this.
Is there a motion to approve with a yes vote?
So moved.
Motion by Iverson,
Second.
second by Moulton. Questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. Item 6.8.
Yes, this is to set the annual budget hearing date. So the annual budget hearing will be set before the regular July meeting. This is the time in which the community can comment on the proposed budget. So we're setting that for July 11th. So that's a Thursday at 5 p.m. and that's right ahead of the regular July board meeting.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the annual budget hearing date.
We have a motion by Lore,
Second.
second by Moulton. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. And lastly here, the open enrollment, 6.9.1.
Yes, these are all for the 24-25 school year. We have 6 open enrollments for your consideration and recommend approval.
Is there a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to approve the open enrollments.
Motion by Lore. Is there a
Second.
Second by Iverson. Questions, comments? We welcome these folks to the district. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's been approved. At 13, the 1320 tons does not appear that there
There are none.
Okay. Dr. Danielson, we'll turn it over to you.
Yes, big reminder, the Lake Area Retirement Celebration is on Wednesday, May 15th from 3 to 4:30. Then the K-12, that is in their respective departments. The K-12 Retirement Open House is from 3:45 to 5. That's here at the WHS Commons. We also are hosting an open house at Roosevelt. If the public, former students, former staff members would like to come in and see Roosevelt in its kind of school-ready form one last time, that will be on Monday, May 20th, a week from tonight, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. I know I got a call today about a time capsule somewhere behind some lockers. So maybe there's, if there's certain things that people wanted to see or, I guess, take a look at, I don't know if we'll be digging up any lockers just yet on Monday, but we are aware of that and want to help out if we can for people who have that sentimental value of Roosevelt. The last day of school is May 22nd, Wednesday, May 22nd. That's a 12:30 dismissal at the 512 with a 12:20 dismissal at the K4. And then Mrs. McClemens mentioned that it is graduation Sunday is May 26th. That's at 2 p.m. And then I would also like to point out that we are in conjunction with our mental health providers in the community promoting Mental Health Awareness Month. May 1st was the Community Green Day, and we have determined that Friday here, coming up on the 17th, is Green Day in support of mental health awareness. A couple things about Mental Health Awareness Month. It's been declared Mental Health Awareness Month. It goes all the way back to 1949. And its value is to show the importance of caring for one's mental health is important for all ages. Just should be looked at just like our physical health. Mental health disorders affect 1 in 6 South Dakota adults and 1 out of 5 youth will experience a mental health challenge before the age of 18. And so this week, in support of Mental Health Month, the Watertown School District is encouraging staff and students to practice healthy ways to take care of their mind and body, with culminating on Friday as Green Day. I think we even have some green products in our lunches that day. And so they'll get to try food that day. Awareness about mental health is important. It's okay to talk about with your friends, family, and helping professionals. If someone is in crisis, call, text, or chat to 988, the National Suicide and Crisis Hot Lifeline. And then one last, this is hot off the press. Premier Follick from Northeast Tech has sent a message that we just found out that Northeast Tech received a $1 million grant for CTE equipment. So we're very excited about that. The legislature allocated money that was to be used or to be given out this year, and so we're going to be able to update all kinds of things in the Northeast Tech programming. Now, everybody who's watching and here has to keep it quiet because the press release won't be till tomorrow. But you heard it here from me first, and that was with permission from Mr. Follick over at Northeast Tech. So we're very excited about that and grateful for the work of our legislators, whom were actually noted in President Sanderson's commentary earlier. So great deal, and I'm sure those board members will get to hear about it a little more on Wednesday night at our Northeast Tech meeting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What a way to end it.
You bet. I like that. Let's finish with $1 million.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything better than that to top it off with? For a board report to the superintendent?
We will have a June 18th school board election, so that's coming up. So absentee voting can take place as early as June 3rd from 8 to 5, and that's here in our district business office. We have on the ballot, we have Carrie Lord, John Iverson, Brock Manzi, and Zach Thompson, and you can vote for 2 members. So that's June 18th will be our school board election.
7 to 7, right?
From 7 to 7 here in the arena.
All right. Well, with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Motion by Moulton.
Second.
Second by Iverson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.